and median from grouped data. Let's start off with a set of raw data though. Here's a set of numbers. Let's imagine that they're ages of people, 61, 67, etc. If we were to work out the mean of that set of data, what would we do? You would add up those numbers to get a total and divide by how many were there. To get the median, you would put them in order and then work out which one is in the centre. But today's about grouped data, so I'm going to take that set of data and group it into some smaller categories. So let's find the smallest number that we've got there, 54, and the largest number that we have is 92. And looking at the range of those, we could group them in sets of 10, but then we're not going to get many sets. We would have, say, from 50 to 60, 60 to 70, but let's group them in sets of 5. So for the interval of 50 to 60, we want to break that up into 2 sections, and we want them to be even sections or intervals. So let's think about this. The numbers 50, 51, 52, 53 and 54, that's 5 numbers. And 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, then that's another 5 numbers. So I suppose what I really meant there is we're going from 50 to 59 with 5 numbers in each. So now I'm going to write my list of class intervals for that. So as you can see, we've got the different class intervals here. 50 to 54 includes 50, 51, 52, 53 and 54. Now what I'm going to do is take each of these numbers and write which section that they're in. So the number 61 goes in the interval of 60 to 64. So I'm going to do a tally frequency table. So the first number is 61, I'll cross that one off. Next is 67, and that goes in the next one along, from the 65 to 69. 54 goes in that first category. 70 goes in here. And now I'm going to go on and finish off the table. So now what we have is a tally of each of these numbers. Remember, every time you've got 5, we do 4 vertical strokes and a diagonal slash. Perhaps I would call this tally up here. So essentially now I can take that raw data and delete it. It means we lose the uniqueness of that data because we've grouped the data. And so we no longer will be able to work out the mean by adding them all up, because that 61 number here, where does that fall? Well, it's somewhere in this group here of the 60 to 64s. We know that there are 6 numbers in that group, but we don't know anymore if it's 61, or it could be 6 lots of 60, or it could be 6 lots of 64. So I'm going to remove those now. So I've tallied up the numbers that we had in each group, and in the 50 to 54 group we had 1 person. But because I've deleted the numbers that were here, we no longer know how old that person was. This 1 person here, are they 50, 51, 52, 53 or 54? We're not sure. This method of collating data is really valuable when you have large sets of data. When you've got tens or hundreds of sets of data in these categories, it's much easier to work with. But we still need to find a technique for working out the averages. What's the average age here? So average is a word that we use for mean or median. So let's have a think about that. I've just moved the frequency table over here closer to the groups, the class intervals. So let's have a look at, say, the 50 to the 59 group. There were 3 people in there, but how old were they? Were they old 55 years old, 3 of those? Or were they 3 lots of 59-year-olds? We can't remember anymore. But we need to find a way to work out the mean of this group. So what could we do? We've got this group here, and it's got an end point, a lower and an upper point. I guess the idea comes from, well, let's take the middle of each of the groups. So what's the middle of 55 to 59? Well, how many numbers have we got there? We've got 55, 56, 57, 58 and 59. What's the middle there? It's easy when you've got an odd number to work out. 55, 56, 57. So the midpoint, we call it, of that group is 57. I'm going to add a column here called midpoints. And we said that this one is 57. Another way to think about that is, in case you have different class intervals, is you could write out the numbers that you've got: 55, 56, 57, 58, 59. It's quite easy to see there that the middle is 57. What's the other way of working out the middle? In this sense, it's an average of the numbers 55 to 59. Well, we take the average of those two, the two endpoints. 55 and 59 gives us, divided that by 2, that gives us 57. Just careful when you're doing that on your calculators. If you type in 55 plus 59 and divided by 2, what BEDMAS or BODMAS does is it just takes the 59 and divides that by 2 and then adds on 55. So you need to do that section first and hit equals to divide by 2, or use your fraction button and then work it out that way. If the numbers were different and you had from 2 to 5, say, and you wanted to know the middle there, you would still do 2 plus 5, you add up the endpoints, divide by how many numbers are there, which is 2, that gives you 7 out of 2, and so the middle of that is 3.5. So the technique is still the same. We now want to work out the midpoints for each of these class intervals. Between 50 and 54, you do 50 plus 54, divide by 2, and we're going to get 52 as the midpoint. So let's complete this column here. You will notice a pattern that they alternate, 2, 7, 2, 7. That's quite common. Now, we do need to address this last column here, this class interval. I decided to go 85 or more. I think the person was 92 years old, and so we have one person there. Now, what's the midpoint of that group? That's tricky because I have no endpoint. Does this age range go to 90 or 95 or 100? I'm not sure. So if you ever get a set of data like that, you just have to make a decision. Do you include that? If you do, what are you going to do with it? Do you create a midpoint for this one? If you do, that's something you would discuss, deciding if you make it 100, 95, and you write out your midpoint. So for the purposes of this one, I'm not going to include it. So how many pieces of data have I got there in my column? Now that I've removed that last piece of data that I've decided not to include, I have a total of 30 people. So I want to know, what is the average age of these 30 people? So these are our midpoints. So we're saying the midpoint of this class interval is 57. So I'm saying I have approximately 3 57-year-old people there. Now we know it wasn't 3 57s, but we're using this as an average to help create an estimate. So essentially, what are the ages of the people in this group? Well, it's 3 lots of 57. What does that give us? So if you have your trusty calculators with you, you'll be doing a multiply to work all of these out. 3 lots of 57 gives us 171. I have 1 in this category here, so we're saying we have 1 52-year-old, let's say, 6 62-year-olds. So what's their age in total? 372 for the total. I'll finish off the rest. So finishing up, in the last column here, we said we had approximately 3 82-year-olds, and this is the total of their age. So what I'm going to do now is add up this column to see what their ages come to in total, approximately. Did you get the total as 2,033 if you were doing it as well? So how do we find out the mean of that? You take all of the numbers added up. So we've approximated the midpoints, and so our total here is 2,033 for their ages, divided by how many people are there. So we're saying that the mean age is 67.76 recurring as the mean age. But what about the median? To work out the median, you may remember a formula that is n plus 1 over 2. So how many numbers have we got here? 30. So we're thinking about the halfway point. We're trying to think about, if you had all these people in order, where roughly is the middle? You might be able to guess that it's around the 15 mark. So where is the 15th person, roughly? So if we use the formula n plus 1 over 2, then we have n is 30. 30 plus 1 divided by 2. If you can still see that, it's the 15th 15.5 person. Where are they in there? So the first person is here, frequency 1. The next group along, we've got 3 people. So how many people have we got to by now? 4. You might like to keep a little tally as you go. We then have 6 people in the next group. So now we've hit a total of 10. And in the 65 to 69 group, we've got 8 people. So by the end of that group, we would have had 18 people. So that middle person is somewhere in there. It's the 15th, between the 15th and the 16th person. So if we're going to show that on average, people in this group are 67, one way of looking at this is that the median age is 67. Now we know that's not necessarily true. There's 8 people in this group, so there could be 8 65-year-olds, or there could be 8 69-year-olds. We're not sure, but we're approximating the middle as 67, so we're saying that the median here is 67. There are a few different ways that you could do this, so feel free to have discussions about this or look up alternate ways. So that summarises how to find the mean and median for grouped data. Hopefully you'll be able to apply this concept to some data